Oh, you're gonna love this one. Get comfy, let your thoughts wander, and when you're ready, baby, dream of a new life.
The Enchanted Wager. Power Girls Awakening by Catherine Serafina. Chapter 15, November 1st, 2025. Sunlight poured across my room, warm and lazy, crawling over the mess I'd left behind last night. My cape hung off the back of the chair like a surrendered flag, and the witch hat sat crookedly beside it on the desk, a silly, perfect reminder of the trick-or-treat chaos and the laughter that had filled the night. Outside, I could hear someone raking leaves, the scrape and shuffle carrying on the cool air. Halloween was officially over, but it still clung to everything. My phone buzzed against the nightstand, just once, a soft little vibration that felt more like a nudge than a demand. I reached for it, still half buried under the blankets, and blinked at the screen. Becca, of course. I didn't even need to open the app to hear her voice in my head. Alive? Haley's a zombie? I'm running on caffeine and regret. I laughed quietly, replying in my own head as I typed a quick response. Barely alive. I might not move until noon. Another buzz. Good. We're all recovering. Haley's swearing off tequila forever again. We'll swing by later with snacks, gossip, maybe a movie. I smiled at that. Perfect. I murmured aloud, my voice still rough with sleep. I'll even pretend I cleaned. The phone buzzed again with a heart emoji, and I set it face down beside me, letting out a slow breath. The room was peaceful. Just soft light and faint echoes of the night before. My muscles ached in the best way, a dull, pleasant reminder of dancing, laughter, and victory. It still didn't feel real, how the whole thing had ended. The contest, the cheers, even Jake's face when I'd shut him down. For once, I wasn't reliving embarrassment. I was reliving pride. I pushed the blanket aside and swung my legs over the edge of the bed, stretching until my back popped. My reflection caught my eye in the mirror across the room. The girl staring back was a beautiful mess hair, tangled from sleep, faint traces of makeup smudged under her eyes. I patted closer, squinting a little at the raccoon-like shadows. Lovely, I muttered, reaching for a towel. In the bathroom, I ran the tap, cool water sliding over my fingers before splashing across my face. The smudged mascara swirled down the drain. When I looked up again, my eyes looked bigger, somehow brighter, even without a single touch of makeup. I brushed my hair until it felt neat and straight again, soft against my shoulders, framing my face just right. No gloss, no color, no tricks, just me. Still me, I whispered, catching the way my voice softened around the words. It wasn't a declaration anymore, just a fact. I glanced at the clock. Nearly noon. Figures. I'd slept through the morning, and for once I didn't feel guilty about it. The first quiet day in weeks, and I was going to enjoy it. The sunlight warmed my toes as I padded back into my room, the air still smelling faintly like shampoo and candle wax. I smiled to myself. Lunch sounded good. By the time the clock edged past noon, I'd finally convinced myself to stop drifting and start doing something. The house smelled faintly of toasted bread and melted butter, the soft hiss of grilled cheese filling the kitchen with warmth. I'd poured a fresh pitcher of lemonade too, the tart scent hanging in the air, bright and sharp, a little sunshine in a glass. I wiped my hands on a towel and leaned against the counter, taking a sip straight from the cup. Perfect. Just the right mix of sweet and sour. The doorbell rang. Of course, I muttered, setting the cup down with a small clink. I brushed my hair back with one hand as I crossed the living room. Soft jeans hugging my hips, the fabric worn and comfortable, paired with a loose sweater the color of falling leaves. It felt casual, cozy, and somehow still new. When I opened the door, sunlight spilled across the entryway, and there they were. Clara stood front and center, tiny and beaming, her Tinkerbell wings still strapped proudly to her back. Glitter caught the light in her hair and across her cheeks, like she'd never quite stopped sparkling from the night before. Beside her was Lucas, in jeans and a soft gray t-shirt, that faintly sheepish smile tugging at his lips. "Hey," he said, rubbing the back of his neck. She wouldn't stop talking about you, kept saying she wanted to see Barbie again, so, He laughed under his breath, a little embarrassed. Figured we'd drop by. Before I could even answer, Clara's face lit up like a sunrise. "Hi, Barbie," she squealed, throwing her arms around my leg. I laughed, the sound slipping out before I could stop it. "Hey there, fairy queen, still flying high." She nodded hard enough to make her wings flutter. "Daddy says I fly." Lucas laughed softly behind her. I looked up at him and smiled, caught between amusement and something warmer. Does he now? He lifted his hands in mock surrender. "She's got altitude, I'll give her that." "Well, come on in," I said, stepping back from the door. "You've got perfect timing, I just made lemonade." Clara gasped, wide-eyed. "I love lemonade." "I figured you might," I said with a grin. She reached up for my hand, small fingers curling into mine like it was the most natural thing in the world. I squeezed back gently, guiding her through the living room toward the back door, Lucas following quietly behind. The light through the windows caught in her glitter and made her sparkle all over again. And just like that, in the simplest moment imaginable, everything about the day felt brighter. The air outside felt softer than I expected. Autumn sunlight spilled over the fence, gold and calm, and a few stubborn orange leaves still clung to the tree branches that arched above the yard. The pool shimmered quietly, catching bits of light like broken glass, and for once, the world seemed perfectly still. I carried the lemonade pitcher out with 3 glasses balanced in one hand, the ice clinking as I set everything down on the glass patio table. "All right, fairy queen," I said, pouring the first glass and sliding it toward Clara. Moment of truth. She scrambled up onto one of the chairs, wings bouncing, legs swinging so hard her shoes thudded against the rungs. Both her tiny hands wrapped around the cup, and she took a huge gulp. Lemonade immediately dribbled down her chin. I laughed and handed her a napkin. "You're a pro at this." She said around another sip, wiping her mouth with the corner of the napkin. "Yummy!" Lucas chuckled from across the table, leaning back in his chair. The sunlight caught in his hair, and I caught myself watching the way it shifted gold at the edges. "She's obsessed with lemons," he said. "I'm pretty sure we keep the local store in business." I poured him a glass, and then one for myself, smiling as I sat down. There are worse obsessions. "True," he said, raising his cup a little in a toast. "Cheers to citrus." We clinked glasses, lemonade sparkling in the light, and for a while the conversation drifted easily the way things do when no one's trying. He told me about the trick-or-treat chaos, the crowds, the sugar crash that followed. Clara piped up every few sentences with dramatic reenactments, how she flapped her wings, how her pumpkin bucket got too heavy, how she refused to sleep without her costume still half on. Lucas rubbed a hand over his face, laughing. "She was still in those wings at 7 this morning. I had to bribe her with waffles to get them off." I grinned. "I can relate. Hard to take off the cape when the night's that good." That made him smile, a quiet, tired, warm smile, and then his voice softened. "She gets that stubborn streak from her mom," he said, almost to himself. "My wife passed away a couple of years ago. Cancer." The words landed gentle, but heavy, and I felt my chest tighten. "I'm so sorry," I said quietly. She'd be proud Clara's incredible. He nodded, eyes distant but full of something tender. She got her sparkle from her mom, but she's been even brighter lately. When he looked at me, it wasn't searching or awkward, just steady. "Maybe because of you." The warmth that had been lingering in the air suddenly found its way under my skin. I ducked my head, hiding the smile that wanted to rise. "Then I'll keep the lemonade coming," I said, swirling the ice in my glass to give my hands something to do. He laughed softly, and for a long moment we just sat there. Clara humming between us, sunlight catching on her glitter, the world perfectly ordinary and quietly perfect. Clara had migrated to the patch of grass near the table, cross-legged and entirely in her own world. From my chair, I could see her rooting through her little backpack until she produced a handful of dolls and one lone tissue. A moment later, she bounded back toward me, the doll now draped in her makeshift cape. "Barbie, look!" she squealed, holding it up like a trophy. "This one's you!" I laughed, leaning forward so she could set the doll on my knee. "She's perfect," I said, pretending to inspect the cape. "But she needs a superhero name, don't you think?" Clara tapped her chin with exaggerated thoughtfulness. Then her face lit up. "Power Barbie," she declared, proud as could be. "Power Barbie," I repeated, nodding solemnly. "That's a strong name. I think she can handle anything." Clara grinned so wide her wings tilted, and Lucas chuckled from his chair, his eyes warm and steady as he watched us. The sound of it, the gentle amusement in his voice, made the air around us feel even softer. A stray orange leaf drifted down from the tree above, tumbling lazily through the sunlight until it landed in my hair. Before I could reach for it, Lucas leaned in. His fingers brushed lightly through a strand, plucking the leaf free. They lingered a second too long against my temple, just a whisper of touch, and the world seemed to quiet around us. Clara kept humming to herself, arranging her dolls. The pool glittered, the lemonade glasses caught the light. For a heartbeat, everything held still. Then his hand dropped back to his lap, and the spell broke with a warmth that stayed behind. "Thanks," I said, my voice softer than I meant it to be. "Anytime," he replied, barely above a murmur, a smile ghosting across his face. The sun was slipping lower, the day stretching out like it didn't want to end. And for the first time, I caught myself wishing it wouldn't. By the time dusk settled in, the house had gone quiet again until my doorbell rang twice, then once more for emphasis. Becca's signature rhythm. I opened the door to find her balancing 2 grocery bags and wearing her usual I-come-bearing chaos grin. Haylie trailed behind her with a giant bag of popcorn already open. "Movie night rescue mission," Becca declared, brushing past me. "Snacks, caffeine, and judgment. You're welcome." "I didn't realize I was in need of rescuing," I said, locking the door behind them. "You always are," Haylie teased, plopping onto my couch. "Besides, Becca said you had news? Something about your hot neighbor and his tiny winged sidekick?" I blinked. "How?" Becca lifted her phone. "You texted me, remember? You said Clara showed up in her fairy wings. Cutest thing ever." Which obviously means Lucas was here too. She gave me a look that could only be described as predatory curiosity. "So spill." I sighed, pouring cocoa into 3 mugs. He brought her by because she wouldn't stop asking for Barbie. That's all. Becca's grin spread slow and smug. He came by with his daughter unannounced. "Girl, that's not a visit that's fate testing your skincare routine." I groaned. He said it was her idea. Haylie snorted, mouthful of popcorn. "Oh yeah, sure 4-year-olds organize social calls now. Totally plausible." Becca threw herself dramatically onto the couch, hand over her heart. "Single dad, adorable kid, beautiful neighbor. This is every streaming service romance pitch I've ever heard." I passed them their mugs and shook my head. "You two are unbearable." "Unbearably right," Becca corrected. Haylie raised her mug in a toast. "To Barbie and the silver fox next door." I nearly choked on my cocoa. "You're insane." Becca waggled her brows. "We're insane and correct. Look at you. You're glowing." I tossed a stray piece of popcorn at her, which she caught in her mouth without blinking. Haylie cackled loud enough to make the witches from last night jealous. We spent the rest of the evening exactly like that, half watching the movie, half talking over it, laughing until our sides hurt, crumbs everywhere. The house felt still after Becca and Haylie left, laughter fading into the night like the last echo of a spell. I stepped out onto the patio, arms wrapped around myself as the cool air brushed against my skin. The neighborhood was peaceful, porch lights glowing faintly through the trees, the faint smell of wood smoke drifting from somewhere down the block. I tilted my head back, letting the quiet settle. The stars hung sharp and cold, reflected faintly in the sliding glass door behind me. My reflection met my gaze, hair framing my face in smooth golden strands, eyes clear, lips curved in the smallest smile. There wasn't a single trace of Kenneth staring back. Just me. Just Clara. I hugged myself a little tighter, the warmth from inside still clinging to my sweater. "Maybe this is what winning really means," I whispered. The words lingered as I turned and slipped back inside, the house calm, safe, and finally, entirely mine.
Did that leave you wanting more? the naughty versions waiting for you on my Patreon, along with so many other juicy little secrets. Go on, baby. You know where to find me.